Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching the news at 10 on Channels Television, coming to you live from Lagos. A reminder of our top stories. President Buhari orders forensic audit of the NDDC operations from 2001 to 2019, vows to ensure that the agency accounts for the huge funds it received within the period. Federal government insists there's no plan to end fuel subsidy anytime soon, says fixing the nation's refineries will reduce burden on government. Gunmen kill one person, kidnap 5 others, including a school teacher, in separate attacks in Kaduna State, as abducted principal of Government Technical College regains freedom. And European Union and United Kingdom negotiating teams agree fresh Brexit deal amid fears of stiff opposition from UK Parliament. Well, for more information on our top stories and others, do visit our website, channelstv.com, youtube.com/channelsweb has videos of all our shows. Well, let's turn our attention to security matters. Gunmen have killed one person and abducted 5 others, including a primary school head teacher, in separate attacks on 2 villages in Birnin-Gwari local government area of Kaduna State. The suspected bandits reportedly attacked a fuel station in Doka village on Wednesday afternoon, shooting one of the attendants dead and injuring 2 others while they abducted others. Meanwhile, the chairman of Birnin-Gwari Vanguards, Ibrahim Ngwari, in a statement is asking the federal government and security agencies to contain the bandits who have instilled fear and terror into the villagers, who are mostly farmers. And staying with security matters, the abducted principal of Government Technical College in Kajuru local government area of the state, that's of Kaduna State, Mr. Francis Maji, has been released by his abductors. One of the teachers in the school told Channels Television that the kidnappers dropped the principal at an undisclosed location today after collecting a ransom. To the judiciary now, and the former National Publicity Secretary of the People's Democratic Party, Metuh, has lost his bid to stop his criminal trial before the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory in Abuja. In a ruling on the trial, Justice Ishaq Bello rejected a no-case application made by Mr. Metuh in his trial for alleged destruction of evidence while he was being investigated by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission in relation to the purported looting of funds meant for the purchase of arms and ammunition during President Goodluck Jonathan's administration. Justice Bello said after reviewing arguments by the parties, the view of the court is that the application for a no-case submission is lacking in merit and was therefore dismissed. Let's cross over to Abuja now. Here's Makwe Ogun Yusuf. Makwe.
Hello, Joma. It's good to see you. Well, we're still here in Abuja, where the federal government today disclosed that it's planning to spend 10 billion naira in the next 5 years to return over 5.8 million children to school. The plan is contained in a document which outlines government's short and medium target work plan for the education sector. The Minister of Education, Mr. Adamu, who launched the plan in Abuja, asked state commissioners of education to align their policies with the work plan for effective delivery.
Nigeria is ranked first on the United Nations Children's Fund list of countries with the highest number of out-of-school children. The data from UNICEF estimates that 10.2 million children are out of school.
Which is the work plan for the ministerial strategic plan on President Muhammad Buhari's Education for Change.
The worrisome statistics prompted this meeting, where the minister launched the Education for Change campaign. The campaign has a work plan which every state is expected to key into.
None of this is possible without the cooperation and full participation of the states. And I think that is the most important reason why we are here. And that is why all states have been invited to be here. So that by the end of this retreat, they will align their own policies with the ministerial strategic plan. We intend to focus on access to get students who are out of school back into school and to make sure those who are coming of age are enrolled.
According to the 5-year work plan, 5.845 million children will be mopped out of the streets. The ministry is proposing to spend 10 billion naira across the period for the plan. The target includes Almajiri, girls of school age, children of nomadic pastoralists, and over 1 million children displaced by the Boko Haram insurgency. They are drawn from the 19 states with the highest number of out-of-school children. The plan includes mapping out communities in the 774 local government areas to identify the underserved areas and households, sensitization on family planning, conditional cash transfer to indigent mothers, as well as sensitizing religious and traditional rulers on the benefit of formal education.
We should move from diagnostics to interventions. Programs that will work, that we have seen work in other places, programs that will ensure that we have fixed targets. The Honorable Minister has said within 5 years, he wants us to put the issue of out of school behind us.
The work plan also includes proposal for the establishment of 16 federal science and technical colleges in 3 phases with a budget of 3.2 billion naira in 3 years.
Well, let's examine this issue further. And joining us to do this is the Executive Director, Connected Development, Mr. Hamzat Lawal. You're welcome to the news at 10.
Thank you for having me.
Well, you have heard the news. How realistic do you think the plan is? 5.8 million children over a period of 5 years with 10 billion naira.
Well, first I must say that this plan is exciting, but it's not ambitious. If we have stronger political will, then this plan would definitely be realistic. But again, this plan is subject to the executive governors of our state, because the federal government only control unity schools, but most primary school and secondary school are under the state governors. But I believe that if we have stronger political will and better coordination and communication between the executive and state, the federal government and state government, then probably we would have a headway.
Ambitious in terms of what? The figures?
Well, ambitious because first government have now realized that we need to tackle this head on. What I expected, and that's why I say it is exciting but not ambitious. We should have declared a state of emergency in the education sector, because you can't talk about the future of Nigeria and then you just say, oh, let's have a 5-year plan. Why not declare a state of emergency?
Wouldn't that just be a terminology? Isn't it what we see in the plan that actually decides whether you have declared an emergency or not?
But mind you, this 10 billion is an intervention. So we're not saying we're even increasing budgetary allocation. We're not saying that we're investing in infrastructure. So if we have children go back to school, what happens to the current infrastructure? Are we expanding infrastructure? Also, what is the output? Are we training teachers? It's not in the plan. Are we going to train teachers? Because I've been to a lot of communities, I've interacted with teachers. I've met a teacher who for the past 15 years have never been trained. Are we going to teach these children the current norm? Are we going to review our curriculum? So it's beyond just sending kids to school. Are we providing safe space? We just looked at a report that looked at insecurity. Also, child abuse in this school. So it goes beyond just putting children in school, but looking at it holistically and ensuring that beyond educating these children, we're giving them 22nd century knowledge.
Well, there's definitely, there are definitely many questions to be asked in that regard. But do you see abuse? Do you see room for abuse here? Especially because cash is involved. Indigent mothers are going to be given money. How do you think that we can ensure that the system is not abused?
I think we should change it from conditional cash transfer to conditional payment. Because it's not transfer. You know, if we talk about transfer, we're talking about electronic transfer. So I believe that there's an opportunity here. One, strengthen system and put better structures in place. We're talking about cashless economy. So why are we paying cash, or why are we going to pay cash to these women and traditional rulers? I see that it's an incentive, you know, to get women to send their kids to school, and it becomes a competition. But there's room here for abuse if we don't put structures in place. But then again, there's an opportunity. And of course, civil society have a role to ensure that we effectively monitor the disbursement and utilization of these resources. 10 billion is not a joke in this economy.
I definitely agree with you. Well, we have to thank you for coming on the news at 10 tonight. Mr. Hamzat Lawal is the Executive Director of Connected Development. And now to some company reports. Chi Limited, makers of the popular Chivita range of fruit brands, has initiated the Chivita World Juice Day to spread awareness on the importance of fruit juice consumption to achieve everyday wellness. That explains why the company brought together nutrition experts and key stakeholders to mark the maiden edition today. Chi Limited describes itself as one of the most admired companies in the food and beverages industry in Nigeria.
It's the first ever Chivita World Juice Day celebrated in Nigeria and Africa.
This is where Chivita 100% comes in.
Nutritionists, experts in the health industry, and other stakeholders gather to drive the awareness for everyday wellness and inform the public about the values and benefits of healthy living.
We need to spread significant amount of awareness on the importance of fruit juice and what it can do to the consumption if it's done on a daily basis. Chivita is today a leader in the fruit juice and fruit beverage category, and we're not only committed to producing quality and healthy beverages, but we also feel responsible that in educating consumers about making the right beverage choices which can improve their overall health and their lifestyle.
In this education, if we can impart health.
A panel session enlightens the people on how to live healthier and more productive lives by consuming the right foods, especially fruit juice.
We see it fit to educate our consumers and, let them know the benefits of living an active, healthy lifestyle, which of course is directly linked to our diet. Now, fruits and vegetables play a key role in maintaining optimal health. And of course, closely linked to that is 100% fruit juices, which Chi Limited makes and produces.
We wanted to deepen the conversation by bringing on one platform the experts like nutritionists, right people, scientists, who can tell people that why fruit juice is important and how it helps them lead a happy life. Also remove some of the myths from their mind and help them lead a very happy and fulfilled life.
According to the 2018 World Health Organization data, Nigeria ranks 178th on the World Life Expectancy Index, which is why the company is advocating daily intake of fruits and vegetables.
To drink a glass of 100% fruit juice daily.
Chivita also came up with a pledge to mark the day. This year's theme is tagged Everyday Wellness, crystallizing the role of fruit juice.
When the news at 10 returns, the Federal Accounts Allocation Committee shares almost 700 billion naira among the three tiers of government for the month of September. That's on Business News. Do join us again.